cursed video from the dark web said to make people gouge their eyes out, lost episodes of cartoons that drove animators mad, and eerie videos people swore they saw that mysteriously vanished off the face of the internet. These are deleted internet videos someone doesn't want you to see. Back in the early YouTube era, people started talking about a video that the site staff was allegedly terrified of. It was called Mereana, Mordegard, Glesgorv. If you looked it up, all you'd find was this weird 20-second clip of a guy staring directly at you with a completely blank face, all filtered in this heavy red tint. It's actually a still image, but right at the very end, the face suddenly changes into this distorted smirk and the video ends. Big deal, right? But the word on the old message boards was that this wasn't the whole thing. The real video was supposedly 2 minutes long, and YouTube allegedly scrubbed it because of what happened to the people who watched it. The story goes that viewers who saw the full version started losing their minds. People began gouging their eyes out before mailing them to YouTube's headquarters. It got so bad the platform reportedly had to step in and delete every trace of the full length. The guy in the video is a mystery too. Some people think he was a random businessman whose photo was stolen and edited, while others are convinced his face was digitally engineered to mess with the human subconscious. You'll still see re-uploads of the video today, but everyone's looking for that original 2-minute file. No one really knows what's on that other minute and a half. If it is actually out there and not just an urban legend, it's buried somewhere and nobody can find it. In 2015, a YouTube channel called Obscure Horror Corner started posting footage of a game called Sad Satan. The owner, Jamie, claimed he found it on the dark web after a tip from a subscriber. The gameplay basically looked like a fever dream. You're walking through these grainy, flickering monochrome hallways while distorted audio plays and creepy full-screen images will just flash in front of you, but the real mess started when Jamie wouldn't share the link to the game. He eventually revealed that the version he was playing was a tamer version of it. Right after Jamie revealed this, an anonymous person on 4chan's paranormal board posted a link claiming they had the real version. They signed off as ZK, the same alias Jamie originally linked to the game's creator, and called Jamie a coward for hiding what the game truly was. People who were crazy enough to download that 4chan link realized immediately that this wasn't the same version from the YouTube videos. Just like Jamie had warned, it was packed with actual photos of dead bodies and worse, and it absolutely trashed people's computers with malware. The big mystery is who actually put that version out there. Some people think Jamie made the whole thing up, created the clone himself to add lore to his channel. Others think a random troll just saw an opportunity to ruin people's lives and hijack the ZK name to drop a malicious file. One of the most infamous creepy lost media stories online centers around a video with a name I can't say on YouTube, so I'll just have to call it smouse.avi. The story started spreading online in 2009. Supposedly there is this lost Disney film that was never meant to be seen by the public. The footage is described as a grainy black and white loop of Mickey Mouse walking past some generic buildings, but unlike the upbeat Mickey we know, he looks completely miserable. Shoulders slumped, his head's down with his hollow, depressed expression. The audio isn't the usual cartoony music either, it's just a series of jarring, out-of-tune piano keys being pounded on over and over. Legend says that around the 6-minute mark, the video starts to glitch out. Buildings in the background change into something more twisted. Mickey's face begins to melt into this horrific, jagged grin. The piano gets louder and more frantic. Supposedly, a Disney employee tasked with reviewing the footage and digitizing it, well, the story goes he couldn't even finish the 9-minute runtime. He allegedly walked out of the room, told his assistant, quote, "Real suffering is not known," and then ended his own life right there in the building. You can find tons of remakes of this lost cartoon, but supposedly the original is still hidden away somewhere. This next story comes from a Reddit post made a couple years ago. The uploader wrote the following. I've been trying to find this clip for years, but every time I bring it up on forums, people tell me I'm misremembering a scene from a movie or something, but I know what I saw. It was back in 2007 or 8, I was falling down a YouTube rabbit hole, clicking through real ghost footage style videos. I clicked on a related video. The title was just a string of numbers, something like 00412 _ something. The video was low res, recorded on what looked like an old camcorder. It was just a static shot of a kitchen floor at night. The only light was coming from the humming refrigerator. For the first 2 minutes, nothing happens. You just hear the hum of the fridge and this weird rhythmic thumping coming from somewhere else in the house. Then a pair of bare feet slowly walk into the frame and stops right in the center of the kitchen. The person is just standing there. After a long silence, the person starts dropping things one by one onto the floor. Small things, keys, a watch, what looked like a wedding ring. The creepy part, too, was the audio. As they dropped the items, you could hear a voice whispering, but it sounded like it was coming from behind the camera, not the person in the frame. The person on screen suddenly drops to their knees and starts frantically scrubbing the floor with their bare hands, even though there was no mess. Right before the video cut out, the person stopped scrubbing, looks directly at the camera. Their face was totally blurred out, and the audio just spiked into this high-pitched ringing. I went to show my friend the next day, and the video was removed by user. I've searched every archive and lost media site I can find, and it's like it never existed. The weirdest, spookiest part, sometimes when it's really quiet in my house at night, I swear I hear that same rhythmic thumping. This next piece of lost media has 2 names. Only one I can say on YouTube though, and that's Red Mist, so we'll just call it that. This is said to be a lost SpongeBob episode. According to the story, a former Nickelodeon intern claimed they found a strange, unreleased episode while sorting through old animation files. At first, it looked like a normal SpongeBob episode, just with a really off atmosphere from the beginning. Squidward is getting ready for a clarinet performance, but instead of acting annoyed like usual, he looks genuinely nervous and exhausted. As the episode goes on, things keep getting darker. The audience really hates his performance, and after it falls apart, there's this sudden loud ringing sound before the episode cuts back to Squidward sitting alone on the edge of his bed. The intern claimed the animation style suddenly changed into those hyper-detailed close-ups the show sometimes uses, except way more disturbing. Squidward's eyes are bloodshot, his face looks painfully realistic, and he's quietly crying while staring straight ahead. This goes on for minutes with almost no interruption, and it all culminates with Squidward ending it. Story goes, the episode was destroyed. Another infamous lost episode story online is the dead Bart. So years ago, a post showed up online, almost written like a confession, from someone claiming they used to work on The Simpsons. According to them, there was an episode so disturbing that it never made it to television and was quietly buried. The episode supposedly opens with the usual Simpsons couch scene, but something immediately feels wrong. The colors are dull and faded, almost gray, and the animation is rougher than normal. Even the family acts strange. Instead of their usual sarcastic back and forth, they seem genuinely cold toward each other. The family ends up boarding a plane, and during the flight, Bart starts fooling around near one of the windows. Somehow, the glass breaks, and Bart gets pulled out of the aircraft. Instead of the normal cartoon style though, Bart's fall was described as weirdly realistic and graphic compared to anything the show had ever done before. And after that, the episode turns almost completely silent. The family is shown sitting around the dinner table crying, and apparently the scene drags on for an uncomfortable amount of time. There are no jokes, no music, no exaggerated cartoon reactions to things. It's all just too realistic. Then the story jumps ahead by a year. Homer, Marge, and Lisa are now described as looking painfully thin, still sitting at the same dinner table. Maggie's disappeared completely with no explanation. Eventually, the family visits Bart's grave, but when they arrive, Bart's body is lying right in front of the tombstone, badly decomposed. Homer suddenly says something that sounds like it's supposed to be a joke, but nobody can really tell what he means. And then the screen cuts to black. The legend of the Grifter started on 4chan back in 2009, with people claiming there was a video out there so heavy and disturbing that it literally changed you after you watched it. The vibe of the video was described as looking like a decayed 1930s film reel that had been buried in the dirt. People talked about seeing flashes of human sacrifice, piles of bodies, and these flickering industrial rooms that looked like something out of a nightmare. Laura says the imagery was so intense it caused actual physical reactions, nausea, night terrors, and a feeling like your soul was being crushed. Some even claimed the file would act like a virus and wreck your computer the second it finished playing. For years, the mystery stuck around because nobody could actually find the link. It was always just deleted or hidden on some private server nobody had access to. Eventually, a version started circulating that was supposedly the real thing, but people dug into the footage and found out all the clips were actually just edited scenes from an old Czech movie called Little Odik. Some people are still convinced that the real version, the one that actually breaks your brain, is still sitting on someone's hard drive somewhere. And that has been our video. I will catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next one.